Hello, everyone. My name's Kerry Daigle. I'm your host tonight, the Keep Punching University Zoom call. We do this every Monday night at 6:50 p.m. Central, 7:50 p.m. Eastern. And it's just one great event after another every Monday night. I want to be able to tell you that tonight is a great training night. And I'm hoping that you have a journal out and you've got your pen, you've got a pencil, and you're able to write some notes down. Now that we as distributors and affiliates are banding together and realizing the importance of collaboration over competition, it's time to take things to the next level. We are in the process this year, in 2023, of breaking every conceivable record we could potentially break, because we've been in neutral for about 3 years due to a health crisis. So tonight it's time to rise up together and challenge what we call the status quo. Those that are saying, I'm in neutral, I'm resting, I'm waiting, I want to see what's happening. No, we want to be able to teach you what really you can do right now to do exactly what Andrea Bohn, Heinzen, that's a long name, by the way, is going to teach you about what she likes to talk about is how to build a great business. And she's done an exceptional job. She, without a question, is one of the best teachers in the game with Juice Plus, with direct sales throughout North America. Her title, Don't Turn Down the Raise, just makes a whole lot of sense, because I guarantee you this young lady doesn't turn down any raises. If she sees an opportunity for one, she goes for it. So we want all of you to think bigger. We want you to think bolder. And for that reason, we want you to listen attentively to Andrea Bohn. Andrea, take it away.
All right. Well, thank you. No pressure or anything there. And I feel like I keep moving and shaking. I just came back from a salad in a jar event with my dear teammate, Linda Garcia, and I'm cold. It's cold here in Texas. So thank you. Thank you for asking me to speak tonight. It's been a while. This is a call that I am on regularly because this has brought so much value to my business. And so I commend you all who are investing your time and feel like I might have something to share, I hope, of value with you tonight. But I also realize that in looking at the names that are, the participants already on here, there's a lot of people I don't know. That's so incredible. We do have great things happening, especially starting off this new year. And so I'll just do what I should do appropriately, share my story with you all, because I realize many of you may not have the slightest idea who I am. So yes, Andrea Bohn, San Antonio, Texas, Nebraska born and raised. Been with the company about 16 years. So I was introduced to Juice Plus just after moving from Nebraska to San Antonio about 16 and a half years ago. And so I was skeptical of the product, like many, many people. I've always been a long distance runner. So from that fitness perspective, I've seen so many products. I kind of ignored it for a lot of months. Honestly, I'm so grateful to the person who shared it with me that she did not give up on me, because I cannot imagine where I would be without it. And so tip number one, please don't ever give up on somebody. They deserve your care and attention and follow up. But when I finally did take a look at the product, I saw the research, and I am hopefully this comes across tonight. I like to think very simple in anything that I do. I love keeping things simple. And so that research for me was very, very simple. It's like, this is guarantees. I'm over here taking these other things, a multivitamin and stuff, and we're not healthy, and kids are in and out of the doctor's office. I should say I have 3 kids. So when we got started 16 years ago, they were in elementary and middle school, and they're all grown now adults. My oldest is actually getting married in 2 months. So first wedding in the family, lots of exciting things happening. But another driving force in my desire to help my family be healthier is a serious, honestly, family history of Parkinson's disease. My mother has had Parkinson's for 33 years. My grandmother had it. And I actually had a neurologist years back tell me I was next in line. And I don't know about you, but very much like my title or topic tonight, I like to take control where I can. I realize there's always some things that are out of our control, but I absolutely wanted to take control of my health. And I'm guessing if you're on here, you feel very much the same way because you said yes to Juice Plus. So from the business perspective, honestly, just like many of you, I signed up because it was like $52. That's a no-brainer. You know, I wanted the whole family on Juice Plus. And of course, I was thinking of my mom and other people in my family that I wanted to get started. I had no vision. Now, I do have to say, I had moved from Nebraska to San Antonio and we sold a business in Nebraska and we had no jobs either. So I'm looking at Juice Plus and I'm like, I want my whole family on this and I don't have the income at the moment. We were eating through our savings while we were figuring out what we were going to do. And so at that time, an incredibly special lady came into my life. She's on here tonight. I heard her name a few minutes ago, Trudy Walker. She is one of, or at that time was one of 2 NMDs, or top position, here in San Antonio. And so she offered basically to employ me. She said, you know, come work in my home office. And as we know, our business is not a get rich quick by any means. It takes time to build, but trust me, the flip side of that effort is so worth it. And so basically I had the opportunity to sit alongside Trudy and see how the Juice Plus business worked. I got paid to learn it. And I saw a few things, if I'm being very honest. I saw a lady having a whole lot of fun. And if you know Trudy, she's from Germany. She has a broken accent, that German accent or broken English. And so here she is, right? Not fluent at that time in English, maybe. I think she's fabulous. But also working very part-time and making a full-time income. And that was enough for me to say, if she can do this, I can do this too. So I have to shout out Trudy because I don't know that without that vision that Trudy helped cast for me, I would be here. And so then of course, I'm so blessed to be in the Daigle organization that when I made that decision, I went to Carrie and then Mickey came in and started helping me with the numbers. And I feel like I have the best mentors in the business. So I feel like this business, you know, our product is a no-brainer. The way I feel about it, a lot of things, you'll hear me say that a lot, are no-brainers in my world. But our business is even better. And so I just want to encourage you wherever you're at, right? Brand new. Maybe this is the first training call you're listening to. Maybe you're like me and you've been around 16 years or even longer. You're in control, right? So why don't turn down the raise? That's kind of an interesting topic, right? I want you to start by thinking of a scenario, the annual review. All right. If anybody in here is in corporate America, I actually lasted through one annual review and I stepped away from corporate America. And there was a very big reason for that because I wasn't satisfied with the annual review. But you know the scenario. You go in, you've got some apprehension. You're like, how's this going to go this year? I really hope I'm going to get a big raise. Will there, you know, how is the company's year? Because that's going to impact it. Is my raise even going to cover inflation? I mean, God forbid, I hate to say it, but I know people that work with my daughter that haven't had a raise in multiple years, right? So you go in and you don't know what to expect. You're not in control. But with Juice Plus, you are in control. And so what I saw very early on in when I got intentional about starting to build this business is your pay is never stagnant. You can literally give yourself a raise every single month. And your pay is unlimited. Again, I strongly insist that it's tied to how much we work. I don't pretend to say it's get rich quick or anything like that, but you do have the opportunity to give yourself a raise, not only every month, but in multiple ways. So you are in control of your paycheck. And that can be very exciting. It was for me when I got started, but I'm going to be very candid too. It can be quite defeating. And if you're at a place where you aren't liking your paycheck right now, you got to look in the mirror, because I remember those moments. I've been there. I've called Mickey. I'm going to own it. I always am very candid and honest about my own downfalls. And I've called many times like, oh my gosh, I don't like my paycheck this month. And she's like, and what are you doing? Right? We have to look in the mirror and realize that we are in control. So you, again, if you're in a place where you are stagnant, where you're sitting, when you're like, well, this isn't working, I'm just gonna, I say it like it is, get rid of the excuses. They're excuses. I tell my kids this all the time. My daughter, who's overstressed in her career, I say, no, you're not. No, you're not working any harder. You have no less time. We all have the same time. We know that. It's about priorities. So when you prioritize things that can make a difference, you really can do something pretty incredible. Okay. So I mentioned a moment ago that you can actually give yourself raises in multiple different ways. And so I was also taught by the Daigles to always speak to the newest person in the room or on the Zoom. And so on that note, I want to make sure you're clear, first and foremost, on how we get paid. And this isn't like any brilliance I have, it's in our compensation plan documents. And so you can actually go look this up, but I'm going to run through it real quickly. There are 5 ways that we get paid. Okay. The first, from the moment you sign your application, click submit, whatever it is, we get sales profit. And sales profit, the way I look at it, is kind of like our salary, right? It's that set salary at the very beginning. And it's the same for everybody, whether you got started last night or you've been around 30 plus years like Carrie and Mickey. Every product has a sales profit amount attached to it. And you can go to our points and earnings chart to see what that amount is. Okay, so that's the first way that you earn income. How can you give yourself raises? The other 4. The second is commissions. So we have 3 commission levels. Partner Plus is 5%, QSC is 10%, and SC is 15%, right? So you can move up the ranks, if you will, and give yourself another raise. The thing to know about these raises is they're a set amount, right? You want to get to that 15%. You want to be earning everything available to you, but at that point you've maxed out, okay? So that's one way, but it's only going to be a certain amount. And then the third way we get paid is with title rewards, okay? And these are basically rewards for what the word says, title achievements. So as you move positions, if you've ever seen the stair step, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about, ask whomever invited you or your sponsor, hey, show me the stair step. But that being said, every position has the opportunity, because everything is optional in our business, to earn title rewards. And this is like mind blowing, like what company does this? Because if you think about this, you can give yourself a raise every month just simply by growing your business and your team. You can also give, the company says, well, let me give you a reward, a title reward for the raises you've continued to give yourself. So it's like it just blew my mind the first time I got my very first title reward. I thought, this is crazy. Like all I did was build a business and keep growing my income, and they're rewarding me for it. And we can earn 110. Yes, I said $110,000 in title rewards from start to PMD plus. Okay. But they're one time. That's what I want you to understand about that. They're one and done. So you get your title reward. That one's never going to be available to you again. Okay. But still huge opportunity. And then there's benefits. So starting at our SSC position, I may be wrong, QSSC, yes, QSSC actually begins earning bib money. So we have a benefits package available to us. At the NMD level, it has health insurance and everything like that. And so again, it's phenomenal what company does that, especially for 1099 employees, but it's a set amount. I mean, the package is incredible. It really is. My husband's on my insurance because it beats his corporate insurance, and it's worth like $30,000 a year. But once you get it, that's it, right? It's a set amount. Okay, the fifth way is where we're going to spend the rest of our time, because it's incredible, and it's bonuses. In particular, performance bonus and promote out bonus. Acronyms you probably have seen in your office when you sign in, PB and POB, okay? So that being said, POB I'm not going to get into tonight because I'm going to keep it simple. And I'm going to trust that if you are at the sales coordinator position or above, and you don't know what POB is, I'm telling you right now, tonight, text your sponsor and say, why don't I know about POB yet? Figure it out. You learn as you earn, and you learn as you grow your business. So when it becomes relevant, I always say it's really important to understand. But that being said, PB is where it's at, that performance bonus. So in understanding that, maybe you've heard the terminology, okay, performance bonus. I can look in my office, I can see my numbers, I can see where they're at. What exactly is this? We have another term. There are a few unique terms to our company that I want to make sure you understand, and it's called qualifying or a qualified business. So performance bonus determines your qualified business. Okay, so what is performance bonus exactly? To be a little bit more specific, and again, you can get all this in documents produced by corporate, but it is a 3% bonus available to you once you're at the QSC, the second commission position, on all your partner pluses and above. Okay, so anybody at any position below you, basically. I mean, I said above, partner plus at above position, but any team you create, 5 qualifying levels deep. And that's a technicality that when you have 5, like you have a person A that sponsored B, that sponsored D, that sponsored C, that sponsored E, you want to understand that 5 levels deep. All I can tell you tonight, for simplicity's sake, is it's incredibly generous. It's like crazy generous. So a qualified business is by far the most rewarding part of your business, and income opportunity that allows for that exponential growth. It is where the doors are off, like blow the doors off, you have every opportunity in the world. And when I think of performance bonus and a way to kind of explain it, if you will, there's a quote that I remember hearing for the first time, and I kind of had to process it for a bit. It's by J. Paul Getty, and he says, I'd rather have 1% of the effort of 100 men than 100% effort of my own. And I'm going to give you an example when this and it really resonates with me now more than ever, having a daughter who's a physical therapist. So you could think of a lawyer, anybody who does billable hours, a CPA, a physical therapist, a counselor, whomever, right? You're billing your time. When you're doing that, right, your income is based on the time you put in to working. So let's use that physical therapist daughter of mine. She has to work 8 or 10 hours or see X number of patients to earn her income. When she's not seeing patients, she's not making money. And she puts in long, hard hours. In fact, that's a whole side note because she's very interested in building her Juice Plus business right now. But sometimes it takes, we have to go through the process to see the other side, if you will, and see the opportunity. But okay, so let's say she works 10 hours. She works a full day. She did today. And she's just seeing patient after patient, and she takes her work home and writes her notes, right? And she's exhausted. She's put in maybe 12 hours when it's all said and done. Okay, what if I want 12 hours of productivity in my business? How about I work an hour a day and find 11 people to work an hour a day too? Or what if I work 30 minutes a day and find another 23 people that do the same thing? You see what I'm saying? Like, this is performance bonus, since it's paid out on your organization, is working harder rather than smarter. Okay, so how do you know if your business is qualified, if you're reaching what you need to do that? We have, as I said a few moments ago, we have a point system that's available to look at on our office from the very beginning of the month. So here's how I kind of explain it to my team. I say, you have a point bank. We're going to pay closest attention to performance bonus. And it's a bank. Think of your bank account. And every month, it resets. It literally starts at 0. And every time a payment processes for a customer, points go into the point bank. So it grows all month long. Customers on the 1st, customers on the 5th, the points keep growing and growing and growing. Okay. And so the goal, what's qualified business, 1,800 performance bonus points, PB points at the end of the month. Okay, so what does that mean, right? Because again, I like simple. I like to think of people because it is very much tied to the number of people you're helping. So we'll use a trio fruit, vegetable, and berry blends as an example. And a trio is worth 300 total points, okay? Well, customers are paying monthly. So when a monthly payment processes, 1/4, they get a 4-month supply, 4 payments, 1/4 of 300 or 75 deposits into my point bank. And so what's that mean? They keep building. If I have 24 trio customers, I have 1,800 points a month. So we like to focus on, hey, just focus on 25 customers and have that little extra one, right? But listen to me, this is like another mind-blowing thing about our company. Not only can you have your point bank, but the company says, listen, we know qualifying is so important for your business. We want to give you this raise so much that we're going to let you have a performance bonus savings account. It's what we call excess. And so now you've got this savings account that if something happens one month, I mean, think about the generosity of this. This is crazy. You can pull from your savings account. Now, think about real life. If you pull from your savings account, isn't that a red flag? Like, isn't that saying, maybe I need to assess what's happening here. And maybe I need to make sure that I build my regular account so I don't have to use up my savings. So anybody who's using excess, if you know you're qualified and you're using excess, I'm just telling you right now, red flag. The company's covering your butt right now, but you got to step up and get right back into qualification. Okay. So bottom line, if you think about it, if your performance bonus is being paid out on your team, then it is your reward for helping others grow their business. And one other point I want to make on this especially is because this is where people sometimes will say, or newer people will ask me, oh, or people will ask them specifically, is this a pyramid? Oh my gosh, let me tell you what this performance bonus is. Perhaps, maybe you want to put it in the chat. I don't know, maybe you don't. Any real estate agents listening in tonight? Any insurance agents listening in tonight? Okay. Performance bonus is no different than owning an agency, if you hear me. So I can be a real estate agent and I can get my commissions. Yep. You can do that with Juice Plus 2, or I can employ more agents, more partners in my team, and I can earn a % of theirs. Same thing with insurance, right? I can be my sole proprietor or insurance agent, or I can create an agency and earn that portion. So if you need an explanation to address that, there you go. Don't let people tell you anything like that, because it is a smarter way to work. Bottom line, why do people create agencies? Okay, so that being said, I want to spend the rest of the time together, just looked at my clock to make sure I don't go too long for you all, giving you my top 10 reasons for why you want to have a qualified business. These are just mine, but I'm hoping, if not one, if what I've said so far, maybe the money, the numbers don't matter that much to you, you're driven by the mission. That's one of them. That's a hint. But let's just jump into top 10 reasons, Andrea's top 10 reasons to have a qualified business. Okay. So the first has to do, number one, foundation. It's a foundation for a stable and lasting business. I'm going to use the analogy of the 3 little pigs. All right. I remember I think I need to go back and look at my PowerPoint. I trained at conference in 2018, and I feel like my presentation was called A Brick House Business. So if you know the 3 little pigs story, do you want the house of straw? Do you want to put time and energy into something that's just not stable? Or do you, if you build a house, are you just going to say, hey, contractor, go ahead and start putting the 2x4s up on the ground? No, we don't need the concrete below it. Of course not. You put a foundation in place. That's what being qualified is. It's that solid foundation that creates a stable and lasting business. Okay, number 2, it positions you for rapid growth. Right? It's strategic thinking. It's working smarter. One new excited team member can change the game. Trust me on this. You may think right now, oh, I don't have any team, so it doesn't really matter. Really, what if you bring somebody in on your team on February 10th and they get really excited and maybe they get 6 customers in February and they add a couple team members. Well, guess what? You just had this opportunity where you turned down the raise. That's what you literally do if you don't have that qualified business. Okay. So that's 2. 3, kind of touched on it with J. Paul Getty's quote. It's working smarter, not harder. Do you want to put in the 10 hours a day? I'll be honest, there's no NMD, anybody otherwise that works 10 hours a day at this business. This is why I was so drawn, because I know, gosh, if I've got a work ethic and I can just meet other people where they are and help them do a little, and I'm doing my thing. And this is also why I'm all about autonomy. I want to control my schedule, control my time. So it's hands down working smarter and making a bigger impact. Okay. The 4th reason is it's really the true definition of team environment. And so what I mean by team is the acronym. I'm sure you've heard it. Together, everyone achieves more. You earn more the more you pour into others and help them grow from a business perspective, and the more customers, right? You have to have those 24. If you're only helping 3 customers, your impact isn't that big, right? You're not qualified. But when you're helping 24, think how cool that is. Think about the environment. So now you help somebody else get a qualified business, right? They build their qualified business. You help somebody else do that. And you're pouring into other people. You're supporting them. You're creating this positive win-win environment where you're not competing. Carrie mentioned that at the beginning about not competing, but collaborating. And that is hands down what we do. Okay, number 5, my reason why you want a qualified business, because it is living our mission. I think this is so important because ask people, are we a product-driven business? Are we a mission-driven business? Are we a business-driven, if that makes sense, business-driven business or recruitment-driven business? We are mission-driven. We have a mission to inspire healthy living around the world. And I'm just going to bet, I'm going to be bold here, that you don't know people in every country that we do or have Juice Plus available in. I think it's close to 30 countries now. But I bet through people and connections, and certainly with social media, you can make an impact in many of those countries. I just got to talk with a phenomenal team member, come to the Texas Winter Blast. I have to throw that out because we were planning and talking about her presentation there. We're hosting that next month here in San Antonio. But she's building like exploding business. Jessica Torre, if you're listening in, amazing in Mexico, right? I don't know anybody in Mexico personally. So when you're living our mission, your impact is bigger. And so again, I can get my customers and take care of my 25, and I can help 3 people do that and build their qualified businesses. So they're working smarter. So they're giving themselves raises. And, 3 people do that. We've impacted 100 lives. That sounds a whole lot easier to me than me finding 100 people. And in fact, on our team, I looked at my PVC report. Mickey's taught me well. I was looking over my report right before a month end, and we're like 600 in terms of size of the team, impacting 3,000 lives. I couldn't do that on my own. So I love that. It's all about mission, right? And then you're making a difference. And this is innate in human desire to live a life on purpose. I have been like just soaking up podcasts recently. And one of my favorites is Rich Roll. So shout out if you are familiar with the Rich Roll podcast. But he interviewed a centenarian the other day. So a gentleman who lived to 100. And he said, what's the secret? And one of the top secrets to living a long life is community, right? So that's what we're doing. We have this opportunity to make a difference and pour into people and have purpose. That's huge. Okay. So that's number 6. Number 7 is to collect even more bonuses. Believe it or not, it's crazy when I think about this. I'm like, I almost forgot about these because we have such an incredible compensation plan. I was like, wait a minute, we get paid additional bonuses for helping others qualify. So the first time you qualify your business, for example, you get a $100 bonus. And then if you help 3 people, you get a $300 bonus. 6 people, and this might be if you've heard the word club level ever, don't worry about the acronyms. You learn them as you need to know them, but you'll hear that terminology thrown out, right? 50 club, $5,000 bonus. My next opportunity is 75 Club and a $7,500 bonus. Like, why? Again, I'm already increasing my income by pouring into other people. Oh, just another way to earn that, okay? Number 8 is lead by example. I think that's really, really important. I believe in being a person of action, not just words. And so one of the most painful things and hardest for me as a leader sometimes is to see a team member who, first of all, has team under them and isn't qualified, because I know they're literally turning down the raise. But then I feel like, can we really encourage and give the full opportunity to other people if we're not taking advantage of it ourselves? I feel like leaders have a responsibility to provide every opportunity to their team. You don't have to want to build. You can have people that pass you up in this business, but I'll tell you what, if you're qualified, you're going to keep earning and earning and earning. Even if they build bigger businesses, your paycheck's going to continue to go up. Okay, 2 more real quickly. Number 9, get leads. I know I just said lead by example, but get leads. We have a commercial. You'd have to be living in a hole to not know this, right? First time in 30 years. And what is the company doing? Again, insane. They're like, yeah, people are going to juiceplus.com and ordering Juice Plus because of that commercial. The company's not keeping that. They could keep that revenue. Why do they have to pay it to us? Right? But they're like, no, we believe in caring about people. We believe in relationships. And so we're going to give those free customers to people who have a qualified business. So that is a huge reason right now. And the 10th is to not leave money on the table, right? This is just, again, it's like, here's the bottom line. We talked about the annual review at the beginning. In our company, we have the opportunity for a monthly review. We have the opportunity every single month to go in and then evaluate our business. Is it qualified? Is it 1,800 points? Is it not? And literally hand us a raise. Who's going to turn that down? Like, if you have a team, especially, and again, not an excuse if, oh, I don't have team yet, or I don't have one. I think of this. My soon-to-be son-in-law is a teacher who's working on a master's. Why? Because that allows him to earn more money. So he's putting the foundation. Remember, he's doing the work to position himself. Being qualified even before you have a big team is positioning yourself. It's smart and it's strategic. So what I just want to say in closing is, here's the bottom line. Tomorrow is the last day of the month. You may be really close to qualifying. You can look at that on your office and you can get it done, but maybe not. Maybe you're not even a QSC. But here's the thing. Our numbers reset really quickly in the beginning of the month, and you can look at those. There's no excuse, right? There's no reason to create stress. I don't do stress. In our team, they know that. I am not about trying to create some crazy thing at the end of the month. I am about working smart and strategic all along the way. We got no reason not to, right? And if you don't think in terms of, money doesn't really matter to me, I have all the money in the, maybe you do, maybe not. I don't know who would turn down money, but here's the bottom line. And the last thing I hope you take away from this tonight is impact. My word for our business is impact. This is all about impact. And so, you know what? If you don't personally need that performance bonus, go do good with it, right? I think Catherine Lee is a great example of this with Pure Hope Foundation. And we've been doing events here in Texas to support Pure Hope Foundation because we know income in our business is all about impact. And so wherever you're at, you're in control. Look at that office. If you were confused, guess what? We, as your leaders, who are performance bonus qualified, we get paid to support you and help you. So we're here to help you figure it out. So that's all I've got for you tonight. Just don't turn down the raise. Go get what's available so you can have a bigger impact. Thank you so much.
Wow, and Andrea, I just love it. Andrea, yesterday when I was getting prepared to tell people about you doing this training tonight, Mickey told me right away, she says, boy, we got the right person to jump on this tonight, because she's on a roll. She just has that mentality that occasionally there's a challenge that comes up, she makes that phone call, says, okay, I have a challenge, what do we do? And she finds a solution to it and moves forward. And, you know, it's so interesting, Andrea, what you brought up. You know, a person that does 39 club members, qualified members, is a person that's going to make 6 figures a year residually. Can you imagine that? That you can actually, if someone called you up and said, hey, how do I make 100,000 a year? Real simple. I can show you in about 3 minutes. That's what makes this business incredible, and what Andrea has been teaching you tonight. And she's a master at it. You see, the world needs us all to utilize our voices now more than ever before. We must step into our power, and we must let nothing hold us back. This is the year where there's going to be a lot of changes. There is no competition. Don't think there is. Don't even look at competition. There's none. No one else has over 40 double-blind, placebo-controlled studies. No one. We are it. Everyone is behind us. So business is changing rapidly. And there's never been a better time to make a decision to move forward. If you listen carefully to what Andrea said tonight, this is one thing I took away that I think is so important. Gone are the days of waiting to be chosen by an employer for you to improve yourself financially. Andrea just given you your ticket. I hope you're paying attention. Have a great night, everyone. Andrea, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Keep punching. Jimmy, if you could cut the recording off, we'd appreciate it.